Hello everyone, so today I'll be talking about this method I have kind of come up for myself to help with the Loomis method called the brow eye visor method. If you have watched the previous video I've had on the Loomis method, you know that there's the problem of cut a little bit off the sides, cut how much actually, and then how do you figure out how much of the face do you want. Like you can see here, I cut off the sides here, but eventually when I come here I did it again where I did this little thing here to find the side planes. So I started using this brow and visor method to kind of find out like the edges of the face, basically how far is the face is going to be, and then I use it to gauge how wide I want it to be rather than using the sides, the cutting off to gauge how wide the face I want it to be. Usually I like slimmer faces to draw, so I do this. If I were to follow this one, right, as you can see, if I draw one whole line here, it's gonna be a really big white face. So I hope you can see here, red is the brown line. I draw the brown line and then I draw it down here like this, like a visor. Brown line and outline together. The brown line goes all the way to the edge of the green. Green is where your side, the bones start to come out. Then eventually you go here, which is the widest point of your face, the cheekbone, the widest part, and then I go down like this. So that way, right, as you can see here, goes like this. And then I determine this is the widest point. This is the widest point. I don't go further than that. And I gauge all the proportions inside accordingly to how the usual proportions are. So if you see here, depending on how you want to do it, you can always make it stop here, but then you have to remember there's a little space in between. There's a space between the bone and the eye socket. There's a space here. So what I actually do for my own sake, rather than make it hard to know where to go, I draw the line all the way, I hit the sides, and then I go down like this. So I draw the line all the way, hit the sides, go down, come back for the eyes, and go like this, making this visor to see where the eye and the brow is, and also how wide I want my face to be. So usually, let's say this might be a bit too wide for how I usually like to draw. Maybe I'll make it a little bit slimmer. So with this method, you can also figure out like, okay, how wide I want my eye sockets to be, roughly how big should it be, and then you can put in your eyes as well into the eye socket. And also with this, you can also see that you don't have to worry about how much you're gonna cut. You're gonna start drawing directly from here, and then you know immediately, okay, this is the start of the side plane already. You don't have to worry about, okay, how much do I cut off? Am I cutting it off at the right part? Shouldn't it cut off at whatever? You don't have to worry about any of that. You just go, I'll settle where my front plane is. This is the front face, and then I go like this. So as you can see here, right, I do these 2 marks to indicate where the brow starts and where the brow ends, and then I go, okay, I go the center line down, and of course the actual center line, because when the head turns, this center line is not exactly correct anymore. Then I figure out where my eyes are, so the visor goes like this, and then goes like that. This is where the widest part of the head would be, and go down like that. This would be your side plane here, and yeah. So when you're drawing with the Loomis method, maybe you're having trouble with this part where, oh, how much do I cut off? Is it going to be here actually? Is it going to be here? Is it going to be here? You can actually just do this where you draw the brown line, you establish, okay, I want this part to be how wide it's going to be, and this is where the side planes will start. Then you determine accordingly. Maybe you want a bigger face, a wider face, a less prettier face, or what, so on and so forth. You can decide accordingly. Usually for good looking guys, you just have to have a more smaller side plane and go like this. Yeah. And a side note for drawing the head, usually once the head turns, right, your center line goes down, right? The center line usually is off already, in the sense that the line will not go accordingly. You have to make a new center line for the new face turn. So like this line is only for like the so-called bone, but the actual flesh, right, around here will start to come out. It will be differentiated from the actual center line. And that's how you can draw the head with using the brow visor method, where you don't have to worry about how much you're going to cut off. You can just do this and then determine, okay, maybe I want a smaller, slimmer face. I can draw the ear over here, or I can draw it further back if I want a bigger, fatter face, according to what you want to do. So as you can see here, I draw the line here. I find this visor, and then I decide accordingly. Here, maybe it's about here. Then I go here, and I figure out this might be the side plane. I stopped here wrongly. It should be more wider here, then come down here. And yeah, so this is how you can apply it. If you want to see more videos about art, I have quite a few on my channel, and the Loomis method one I will link in the description or whatever. After that, I'll show you they'll let me put the video there. So yeah, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Keep creating.